Crypto market is at the next level. It's utility which is pushing the prices up. We are watching that the price action for the payment assets are increasingly becoming attractive. They all look positive. They're all showing you the breakout, the move, the measured move, reaching the targets. So now, media attention, the retail attention, it's all entering onto that segment. And you look for the top gainers of the day, you see XLM there. And one of the primary reasons for this is that those who understand this, those who went through this, they already have their backs packed. The greatest wealth is created by being an early investor in innovation. So XRP and XLM, they are one of the earliest technologies for distributed ledger payments, which actually works, unlike the other stuffs which were designed to be the peer-to-peer payments, but that doesn't work. Now, we went through this phase. You will be mocked, ridiculed, and criticized for your non-consensus action. And right now, it turns out that the truth was always with us. XRP itself was not a security. That's a landmark victory, and that's attracting a lot more media attention. That's pushing SEC into a corner where Congress right now is focusing on all these hardships which they have created, and they're actually trying to push through this bill. And if that actually works out, DeFi, the decentralized finance, is going to be like traditional banking. That gives a lot more leverage for the market. And especially when you take a look at what's happening right now, we got a daily close, and that daily close in XRP gives you a bullish narrative. You go look at XLM, it does share similar aspects. Now, while you look for the total crypto market, then the altcoin side of things, and see where we're headed, this becomes even more interesting. While you also look at the stock market side, because that gives you the thought process of, okay, we are about to bounce higher. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where the normal retail guys get to learn how to become the next top 10% of the world. If you actually watch the price action, yes, Bitcoin is still inside the range, but it is really interesting to see that the daily close came in and we got a confirmation. It's showing you an inverted hammer at the support level, which usually turns out to be bullish. Positive stuff. What's negative? The price action broke below the 21-day moving average, and you're still struggling below that. So if in next 24 to 48 hours, we don't break back above the range here of 30,000, it is a negative news for Bitcoin itself. But then you actually go look at the market and you see like, okay, it doesn't actually look bearish for XRP. You breached the previous daily closes and you made a new daily close at a higher level. And now you're trying to push higher. That shows you the amount of interest for this particular asset right now in the market. And then you go on, look at XLM, it also shows you something similar. So the attractiveness for these assets in the market is increasing. Now we know why that's happening, especially when the BTC maxis or even Ether guys are actually trying to push the negative sentiment in. What we need to understand is this is how the markets look like. We are trying to bounce off and test this level of resistance, and if we manage to break this level, now that is going to be really attractive. Watch the price action. You bounce through this level, which has been a support resistance zone. Now that confirms the breakout. Now you come back down and get that range as a support, which is bullish. Afterwards, what happens? You immediately create a candle which shows you going up. It's an inverted hammer on a support level. It's also an engulfing candle, which shows you buying strength is increasing. Now look at the trend line on the RSI. It's still moving up. RSI is slowly trying to round back up when it just reached that trend line. So that shows you some big guys, the big money is entering into this region. Now, one of the primary things we all have to keep in mind is these levels tend to work pretty well. And if that's the truth, okay, we're going to have some level of resistance. I'm not saying we won't have resistance, but this move up here, that 5x in the total crypto market, it is going to be really attractive because the big money is entering in these areas here, because whenever these guys start buying in and pushing the price back up, you actually see the price getting a bounce. You actually see them accumulating and pushing the price higher. Great. Now, what does that mean for you and me as an XRP holder? Because when you actually go into the XRP side of things and look at that on a macro level, you can actually put the argument that, yeah, we just got a breakout and that's holding. The weekly candle closed. We got a confirmation. Now the daily is looking bullish. When you go into the micro level, say this is a 4-hour chart, you need to actually keep an eye here and say, okay, this was the resistance where you closed, and all these price action which happened below is now erased. You got a candle which actually went up and broke to the upside. Now, while you zoom in, you see this particular candle here, which went to the upside. Great. You closed at the range. Now, for better clarity, you can zoom in and see what happened at that point. You actually got that candle, the confirmation was in, and immediately the price action decides to go back down and test this range of support. Now that support is holding as of now, and the price action is trying to bounce off. Why do that matter? Because if the price action decides to go above that and showcase this strength level, say on an hourly chart, it's going to be a little bit easier for you to see whether we are getting a rejection at this level. So that's 0.8326. If you see the price action getting rejected at 8326, that is a rejection. You may actually come back down to the moving average, which would be somewhere close to 0.8. Now, is that bad? I would say no, it's not bad. In my eyes, that's still positive. This is a micro chart. It's bullish. But what happens if you actually break through this range? Now, what's that range? 0.8358. If you break that level, say 8358, now what you're going to see is that the price action gains further momentum to the upside. Now, what are the odds for that, right? When you look at that hourly, you see that this price action candle shows you a bullish reversal signal, which is great. Then you get a continuation pattern, which shows you, yeah, I'm following that pattern exactly. So on a micro level, XRP charts does show you bullish sentiment entering in the market. And one of the reasons for that is when you come into the price action side of things and look at the entire market, this is your top 10, top 20. How many of these assets are holding 5% a day? Not much. And then you look at the other side. How many of these assets are looking really bullish? And you get limited number of assets even looking barely about 20% for the week. So that kind of shows you some strength. Then look at the volume. Yesterday we went down to around 2 billion. Now we are back up about 3.2 billion. So a billion more just came into the market when Ether still remains close to 5 billion. So something different is happening than what we have seen in last couple of years. So when you actually see a breakout, don't doubt. I'm literally watching people selling Ether in decent amounts and buying XRP and XLM. Now, most of them happen to start buying before this actual pop. They were really the lucky guys, the lucky ones, which I would say bought in at this range, thinking, okay, XLM is slowing down, XRP is slowing down, but Ether shows a possible drop. And then they enter these assets, it actually pops. Maybe they are lucky or they took the right decisions at the right time. And that becomes even more important. And that's one of the reasons why we go through all of these assets, the right clarity, the breakout, the target, all of those on the right moment. So this actually gives you the advantage to take benefit of the market, the moves happening in the market. And if you're interested in that, you can look at the Patreon. The link is given in the description below. Now, jumping back into the price action side of things. Keep this in mind. Yes, this is a short-term chart which we are eyeing at. So as soon as you go into a 4-hour chart, you're looking at the indicators. Which direction are we headed? The 4-hour chart shows you the MACD is crossing back to the upside in the positive zone, which is bullish, which is huge. Then you go on the daily and you look where we are. We are still in the positive territory. We are still bullish. The RSI is still in the overbought territory. We are still staying there. We are not even thinking about a drop. That is strength. Why? Because the weekly agrees with that. The weekly is just entering the overbought territory. Historically speaking, when you go back and look at what happens during those times, you can get at least a couple of candles on a weekly popping, which is positive. Now, if that's to happen, we're talking about $1.2, $1.3 XRP coming soon, maybe a week or two. We'll have to sit and wait. But this kind of gives you the ability to understand, okay, the monthly is just starting to enter the positive zone. The RSI is just going back to these levels, which it has not seen for a long period of time. Last time we went in that range, what was the price action like? That's interesting to see. So that's what we are talking. The price action is trying to push back higher, not when we are coming down, but when we are moving up. So these levels actually become so interesting, and they show you the fact that bulls are entering in this asset, whether we like it or not. But for us, who have been buying this asset, regardless of waiting for the lower lows here, we've been buying this asset as much as possible. We've been holding strong onto this asset. This particular range has been the most difficult to hold on to. Why? You go back 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, and you literally watch even just before. Now, I can guarantee you this. You can go back, cross-check this with all these other YouTubers which you want to. Go back 3 months, go back 4 months. How many of them were giving you the right perspective saying, we are about to go back to 0.55? I personally think we followed that, gave you the right thought process at the right time, showing you the fact that, yeah, the creek is in, which means you are going up. And we did. So we are happy. Now, if you didn't follow that back then and you are here in the market right now, it's a simple question. Are you following the trend, or are you looking to buy the dips? It's a different story, because if you are following the trend, now you're saying that, okay, this range has been broken. You just went to the upside, that's bullish, that's positive. Now what's next? You need to literally wait for a new trend line, and that's not going to happen on a weekly soon. You'll have to literally wait for that price action movement coming on a daily. And as soon as we get these pops, we don't actually form a trend. These are euphoric price action, and euphoric price action, it's really hard for you and me to look and watch at it. That's why we were talking about the parabolic moves a week ago. And then what happens? The price pops. So once you understand that key resistance are about to be tested, that's where we want to see how the price action or the market reacts to those levels, which would show us if the price action, say you see that the price action one day morning just break through this range 0.9 and go crazy. What's the next level? We have a lot of overhead resistance for sure. $1 is going to be a psychological level 1 and a previous support resistance zone. If we manage to break that on the same day, we are watching $1.3. That's not a small deal. We are literally talking about the price kind of doing a 200% from the bottom move, 300% from the ideal bottom. If you manage to buy at the ideal one, that shows you extreme strength in the market. Whenever we have seen some movements like this, we have always seen a price action moving like this, a parabolic move up. And this parabolic move up was with the SEC case in. Right now, you don't have that baggage. We dropped that in the deep ocean. Right now, we are not looking at the gravity. Right now, we are looking at the moon. Yeah, it's not easy to say the moon time is starting here, but we have said that before we popped. And that's one of the advantage of trying to learn the language of technical analysis. Now, when you look at Ether on the other side, you can say, okay, yeah, it has been doing slow movement to the downside, but keeping the biases away, we can look at what's the reality. If you look at this positively on, just as a TA guy, you'll say, okay, this one candle to the upside here, that's bullish. After which, you literally take a long way down to reach the same bottom. So in one way, if you actually try to understand that, one day to the upside literally took another week to retest the bottom. So bulls are strong here and the sellers are not that strong. If they had been stronger, just one or two candles would have erased this particular day of bullishness. So that kind of sums it up. What? We are having a trend line. Which is that trend line? You observe this as a trend. Price action is staying inside this channel. That's bullish. It's not bad. You can bounce back up towards this level. Say you extend that level, it would be somewhere close to 2073, say 2050. If you watch, the price action is breaking these levels of 2000. Now that again becomes bullish. Why? Now you look for the pattern which is showing you a rounded bottom and you're breaking through that to the upside. So whether we like Ether or not, if that's bouncing back higher, that means the altcoin market along with the XRP is moving up, the XLM is moving up. You got that. And if XLM is doing what XRP is doing, we are already watching some price action. Great. Then if Ether also joins the party with a small move, this is going to be extra bullish. And there would be a lot of different manipulative movements in the market. You see on-chain data. Great. Let me ask you one thing. If you are an Ether whale and you really don't like the market moving up when XRP is moving up, what would you do? You just transfer some of your Ether when you're a whale. You can literally afford to transfer 10, 20, 50,000 Ether to an exchange. You don't have to cash out there. You're just sending it there. So you create a notion of this flow. That matters because, these guys, they are top end manipulators. They really don't care about the retailers. If you look at the top end where they sold, you'll understand they always sell at the top or they make the top. When they think this profit is enough, they dump all those units in the market. So when you follow the right asset and have the right perspective, you get the better advantage because the market just shows you, yeah, we're breaking through these levels. We are holding on to these levels. Now that's a support. So technicals do give you an advantage. And that's why we are here looking at all these assets, understanding the upside. Today, it's just starting. We have a long way to go. Last day, XRP did move decent. Price action did give us a positive daily close of 5.73. And at one point, we even went up testing 0.8539, which is bullish. So now if you actually manage to break through this level, keep this in mind. If the price action breaks 0.8531, 8531, we may directly go test 0.93. That's going to be a great region to watch. But if you watch the daily candle slowing down here, maybe this day or the next day, both staying inside this range, that would not be a bullish aspect there. That would show you we may actually come back down, retest this level, and then bounce off. So that would be a slowdown for maybe 3, 4, 5 days. We'll have to watch. But when the price action starts to drop or break this level, which would be somewhere close to 8182, say 8182. If we break that level, bears are going to enter here. Whereas if we go to the other side, break this level, bulls are going to go massive. They are going to go crazy at these levels. Now, I know these are not the perfect writing, but you guys get the understanding. And guys, if you're watching this, please do hit the like and subscribe button if you do think there is value for your time spent here in this channel. And if you're looking for updates like this on the right time for the right assets in the market, when you get the right breakout calls, you take benefit of that and all other sorts of things in the crypto market with your portfolio, you can look at the Patreon. The link is given in the description below. So guys, that's it for today. I'll meet you guys in the next video. Bye for now.